y'all. And I like to bring in our personal conversation so y'all know what we talk about, so y'all know that we human. I told him, I said, I wish that more people would step up so I could go get a drink and maybe smoke a little weed, just a little bit, you know, and have some fucking fun. But I got to stay on point, you know, and I told them if I'm going to be a part of it, we need to come in with some solutions, because a lot of times people think that stuff just comes out of nowhere. I don't know too many movements, and you know my personal feelings about President Obama. I'm not going to go into that, but what I will say is President Obama's whole presidency was a marketing campaign. As a matter of fact, the company that came up with the campaign, I'm talking about all the way from the painting that everybody loves, all of that was prepared. They won marketing campaign of the year once he won president. And the thing is, I don't want people to think that stuff just rises out of the streets. It doesn't happen like that. It usually comes from 2 or 3 very smart, it's like 2 to 5 people who are very entrenched in something. Because I tell people, if you go back and look at the horrors that Black people have gone through, we have been socially engineered. So I even tell people, Boyce, and you may be surprised, I tell people, like a lot of times, if you notice when I debate on CNN, and I usually smash those fools, but I don't believe I should be up there. Like, we need engineers, we need scientists. Like, this was a plan that was executed upon us. We need people that, I mean, even Malcolm said it, we need more than just entertainers. Because if you look at when I'm debating, I'm usually debating against lawyers. I'm usually debating against politicians. And even though I smash them because I read and I research, I think if we really are talking about coming up with solutions like we're trying to do on the Black Agenda Tour, we not only need celebrities to bring the people in, but we need scientists and people, accountants and people like that who have successfully navigated themselves through the problems to help our people learn how to do it also.
Well, I agree with you, man. And everybody who just tuned in, welcome to drboycetv.com. I'm here with Mr. David Banner. David is not just a successful hip hop artist, but more importantly, he's a successful and he's a strong Black man. And we're having a great conversation about all different kinds of topics, and we'll address that. Now, before we move forward, everybody, please take 1 second, hit the thumbs up button. If you're on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or anywhere, hit the thumbs up button and please share, because we want to push intelligent Black conversations through our community. We want all Black people to grow up and rise up so that we can be on top of the game instead of on the bottom. So, so what I want to also ask you guys to do is shout out your city. Feel free to shout out your city. I'm sure we got some people here from Mississippi, which is the state that David reps from. And also, a lot of you have businesses. Shout out your business. Shout out your dream. Shout out some Black man that you love and respect. It might be your father, it might be your brother, etc. Let us know how much you love us, sisters, because I think that for the state of the Black man, one of the reasons I thought it was important, I'm going to bring this to David, one of the reasons that I felt it was so important for us to talk and to talk publicly is that I don't think that our community gets a lot of opportunities to see 2 grown Black men having a grown Black man conversation. You know, it's not bullshit. It's real shit. It's the kind of stuff that helps you to become successful. Can you give your thoughts on some of that in terms of the Black images distorted in America?
Well, I wanted them to see our conversations again. One of the things that I told B that I wanted to talk about today is like our leaders. We're gonna have to have some type of forum. What we were actually talking about the mob and how Black people love the mob. But I think that we take the wrong things from them. We take the violence, we take the drugs, but we don't take the structure. We don't take the ability to sit down with people that you have a disagreement with and sit at a fucking table in person and iron the shit out, you know? And the thing is that what me and B was talking about this today, and I'm gonna let y'all into something. Me and T.I. had this conversation. Me, T.I., and Killer Mike had this conversation about T.I. was like, Banner, we got to get together and create a business. And I was like, bro, you know why we got to do that? We have to do it publicly. We tell these kids stuff in theory that we're not doing in real time. So how can we expect these kids to get along with each other and not kill each other? And we as leaders can't get along. We as rappers can't get along. You know what I'm saying? So like, instead of talking, we are people who learn by something that's called tacit knowledge. Like, we need to be shown. If you notice, our history is written in songs, in plays, you know, in art, because we need to see it. Well, he's actually not my trainer anymore, but that's how we met. But my trainer is right here. And this dude looks like the Hulk. So like, you come to me, can I curse? Oh, fuck. Thank you, sir.
He must not watch us that much, because he just asked me if it's okay.
No. Let me tell you why I do that. That's one of the ways that we mess up. We assume that people think the way that we think. And we assume, even when I approach women who are excited about me, before I hug on them and kiss on them, I ask for their permission. And you would assume because they're a David Banner fan, it's okay for you to do it. Like, no, that's not right. Actually, that's sort of oppressive. So even though you curse every day on your show and every other guest may curse every day, that doesn't make it right for me to do it. So I always tell my staff, I would rather err on the side of being kind and respectful than to assume and take advantage of our relationship. And I do that so that if y'all ever see me beat a motherfucker ass or beat the blood out of a motherfucker face, a judge in LA even did this. It was a white judge, as a matter of fact. You remember when we were talking about, I don't want to tell people what we were talking about as far as this, because more people do it. More people to do it. We don't want them to, you know, the people who, the lawsuit thing we were talking about.
Yeah.
So I was going through that, and the judge asked the young lawyers that were in the room, said, how many of you all know of this David Banner guy? And 4 of them stood up, and they all said that I was a stand-up guy. Now, that was the difference between me having to pay $24,000 and him charging me $180,000, $160,000.
Wow.
Just by my character. You know what I'm saying? And the thing was, he told me, this was so cold. I had used somebody's music in my in one of my songs, right? But I didn't know it because the producer didn't tell me that he sampled. So the judge found out I really didn't know that I had used. He said, I know you really didn't know it. He said, but let me ask you a question. He said, did you break this man's copyright? And I did. It was in the song. I had to say yes. So I said yes. I said, so he's owed something. But he said the difference between me charging you with the law will allow me, he said, you are an honorable man. So in me saying that, to get back to what I was saying with you, was that I don't want to ever take advantage of our kindness. And so if y'all ever see me fuck up, and it's funny, Ricky Smiley said this. I don't know if y'all heard when I got into it with the cops in D.C. I got into a bad altercation with the cops in D.C. And honestly, bro, I never told you about this, but like TMZ, my whole idea of TMZ changed because of that. TMZ called, I'm talking about my cousins. TMZ probably called everybody but my mom to try to get my side of the story. And at the time, I really didn't like TMZ. But I saw one of the producers of TMZ, and they said, you know why we called you David Banner? This was a white girl again. She said, because we respect you at TMZ. They said there's not too many people. Even if you look at how the Klan talked about Malcolm back in the day. See, we think that people respect cowards. They don't. Your strongest enemy respects a person who at least stands. They don't respect no boys. They want an adversary that's worth fighting against. So in me saying that, bro, I always want to make sure that we are respectable to each other, so that whenever we do raise the sword, then people will know that we have tried everything that we possibly can do, and we can give it to their ass 100%. Now I don't remember what I was saying, so let's move forward.
It's all good, man. I think that's a very important point. I mean, you know, I was mentioning to you that, you know, the next book that I'm actually putting together now is about codes of conduct, you know, particularly in the areas of economics and business, but really generally in terms of how we deal with each other. because you're right. A lot of fighting, a lot of infighting, and I'm gonna transition to a real important topic in a second, man. That I think I'm sure you're gonna have a lot to say on this. A lot of the infighting that happens in our community, man, it could be resolved if people would just pick up the phone and talk. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I'm not gonna say no names because people that follow me, they know I got some people that I've had issues with and stuff like that in the past. But I can put this on my late grandmama that in all those situations, all those people were invited to call me and talk to me about it, you know, but instead it's almost like you have some people that just, maybe they want to go and talk shit about you on the internet, or they want to go and tell somebody else what they think. And my thought is, what is the issue with us being afraid to just talk to each other? You know, and I don't know if people really understand that.
Can I give you my opinion? First of all, I want you to know, every time I see y'all fighting, bro, it hurts my feelings. And I'm not emotional about much. It's because, man, like, I don't know if you see this, man, but our people are actually doing a lot better, man. Like, I'm seeing a spirit that I haven't seen in our people in a very long time. It's just misguided. Like, we have to find a way to grab a hold of that post. If you notice, these children, they don't give a fuck about religion. They don't give a fuck about shit. They don't give a fuck about nothing but what's real. It's just that now it's a blank slate and it's our responsibility to write something on it. But how can we tell them not to fight again if we can't get our shit together as grown-ups? Wendell Stimley said something that was really important, and I want to sort of correlate it with what we're talking about. He said, you can't lead the people unless you feed the people. So kids are not watching what you say, they are feeling what you do. You feel me? So like I made, and I don't say this to too many people, but I made a personal vow to myself that I would try as much as I possibly can to never outwardly get into it with a black person again in my life. Now, me and you may go in the back and fight, and when we come back, both of us got scars and shit, bloody lips, but don't nobody know. That was one of the things I loved about Atlanta when I first got to Atlanta, is Atlanta artists would have beef in the city. I'm talking about shooting at each other at the clubs. But outside of Atlanta, you would know nothing about that. It would be on no records. Everybody in Atlanta knew it, but outside of Atlanta, you wouldn't know that. And to me, that's honorable. T.I. said something, man. T.I. said, I haven't always made the right decision, but I live by a code. And that's what we were talking about the mafia. Let's sit down and talk this shit out. Let's get boundaries, okay? You don't come over here. And if you do come over here, this is the ticket you have to pay, even if it's your life. Another thing that I want to say, and I was going to say this until next year, we're going to have to stop giving people passes just because they black. I think some of our biggest enemies look just like us. And in order for us to move forward, we're going to have to define who those people are. And I think black people, we forgive everybody too quick and too easily, bro. We make it too easy to come back to the community, bro. Like, there's some people who have enough money. I mean, as a businessman, I'll tell you this. It is a much better decision for me to donate something to charity than it is to give it to the government, because the government going to get it anyway. So some people we let into our community because they donate a certain amount of money. If you look at the amount of money that they make overall, that ain't nothing but a tax write-off to them. I judge, now I don't count people's money, but I do judge people based on what they sacrifice. And if you're not sacrificing something, I had a girlfriend that was like that. She didn't mind giving nobody no money because she made so much money that wasn't a sacrifice. What was a sacrifice to her was her time. So I would base who she really loved by who she spent time with.
Yep, I agree with you. That's what I said that to my girl the other day. I said, the way you know I love you is I give you my time, because really, money is, number one, it ain't that important to me, honestly. I know money is power. That's why I believe we should fight for it, and I talk about it. But I don't live by materialism. That doesn't matter to me, but the time is the part that's limited. Everybody who's watching, I'm speaking with Mr. David Banner here on drboycetv.com. You guys should definitely make sure you subscribe. Also, some of y'all are asking where can you get this shirt? You can get shirts like this at blackwealthtees.com. It's TEES, blackwealthtees.com. Also, don't forget, join the blackbusinessschool.com because we're doing a screening tomorrow night or actually Thursday night of Black Capital, our new film project that we have coming out this year, directed by Peter Parker. Everybody hit the thumbs up button. Please do that. That's very important. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Oh, and also y'all go to davidbanner.com and buy some. davidbanner.com.
You know, there you go. Let me repeat that. davidbanner.com. Go buy some of it. You a businessman. I should have asked you about that before.
No, it's okay. But let me tell you something that I noticed. And oh, man, I'm glad that we said this. Listen, I'm gonna pull off my hat for this because I cut my hair off and everybody is tripping that I cut my hair. So this is actually a world premiere with Boyce. Y'all gonna see I cut my hair off. But listen, I watch how much people say that they love and support me, right? But I don't watch. I watch the way that we say that we express love. We express love by who we support with our time and our money, right? So I'll go watch everything. I'll go watch the God Box, my new album that came out that's critically acclaimed all over the world. I asked people, you love me? Did you buy the God Box? Okay. Have you supported davidbanner.com? Because if you notice, the people who treat us the worst, we give the most money to. The people who say, I'm coming to your town and fuck your old lady with your broke ass, nigga, and I got more money than you, and I'm gonna leave it wet. That's the person we give out. Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm gonna sell your mama dope and your uncle dope while I'm there. Let's just be clear. Think about the people who dedicate the most time to our people. If you look at it, the most popular time in music for Black people were the 60s. You never hear, for the most part, maybe James Brown every now and then. As a matter of fact, one of the things that hurt me the most was when my favorite artist during that time was Curtis Mayfield. I watched it, and I didn't say it because I didn't want nobody to repeat me. I wanted to see who was going to shout out Curtis Mayfield. And I didn't see that. But if you look at who people talk about with their mouth the most, it's Malcolm and it's Martin, right? Both of them died broke. Harry Belafonte and his friends and the hustlers in Atlanta gave money to Martin. His family's still fighting over mementos and Bibles that he used. Malcolm's family is hurting. Bro, if Black people gave a quarter, just one fucking quarter. I remember one time I told somebody I invested in something because I didn't threw that much money in the strip club. If some of us would donate the money to these families and put your money behind the people that you love, I don't do this for money, but I will say the time that I have, the freedom that I have, I can read more, I can study more. The freer I am, the more shit I can talk. The reason why I talk so much shit is because my businesses are fucking successful. And the crazy thing is my businesses are successful outside of my people because I know the tendencies of my people.
Wow. That's deep, man. You know, I think that's a very important point. I hope everybody was hearing that. You know, Black economic love, that's a concept I need you to drill into your heads. Don't tell me what you believe in and don't tell me what you support. Show me. You know, what you do, like they say, I don't know if you ever heard that phrase, David, where they say that, you know, I don't care what you tell me your values are. Show me where you spend your money and I'll tell you what your values are.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, man. Speaking of just great men and great people and things like that, we lost a real soldier not too long ago by the name of Nipsey Hussle. And Nipsey was a friend of yours, and he lived by code, and he gained respect from people all over the world for what he believed in. Can you speak a little bit about your relationship in terms of what you will remember most from the extraordinary life of Nipsey Hussle?
It's funny. I was gonna wait until, you know, the initial shock died down a little bit to talk about this. But since you asked me and you and I had a relationship, I'll start this conversation with you. The thing that I want people to know about Nipsey is I met Nipsey, wasn't it over 10 years ago? Yeah, about 10 years. If people don't remember this, he was on my mixtape a long time ago. We actually have a video. It's called Californication. Like, I've never actually even heard a song like this before. We did a movie, and everybody in the song played a part. So it wasn't just like different verses and people freestyling. It was literally a script, and everybody played a part, and they came in and out of the song. It was me, Nipsey, Snoop, Game, Razzcast. It was called Californication. So I had met Nipsey a very long time ago. And people do this to me also. Nipsey had this vision back then. It's like, this wasn't new. When Nipsey didn't give me a CD, Nipsey gave me a book to read on marketing. He told me, he said, David Banner, I'm going to take all the stuff I've done in my life and I'm going to use it for good. He literally said, I'm going to take Crippin' and I'm going to use this decision that I made and I'm going to use it for our people. Not against our people, but for our people. And I'm going to show the people who are just like me and support what I support and live the lifestyle that I live. He said, and this is what he told me. He said, Banner, you're going to have to be patient. He said, my route is going to take a little bit longer. He was like, bro, so I'm on the same thing you on, big bro, but like, I'm going to go back through these streets for real and get our people. And so the Nipsey that people see, y'all 10, 15 years late, you know, and he meant it. And that didn't make him no less, you know, a gangster. It didn't make him no less a child of God or whatever it is. T.I. said it like strongly. He was all of that. You know, even the way, and this is, I wish people would focus on this, man, the way that he treated his queen, man. He a gangster. Most people feel like, you know, because actually it was funny. I got into an argument with somebody about this, but he was telling the truth. He said, you can define a race by how they treat their women. Because that's who you reproduce yourself with.
Ooh, that's heavy.
So you need, and he got examples like, you're not gonna go, like, if you have all your information on the thumb drive, you're not gonna go stick it in a public library computer. Too many viruses. But my point is, with Nipsey, man, what I do want to talk about, man, and I just want to hit this point. I think I'm gonna finish it somewhere else. But like, if we're gonna use Nipsey as the basis of what an artist is supposed to do, then we got to put some ownership on the hood, and we got to put some ownership on an everyday average person to take care of that person, not just financially, but socially, from a security standpoint. You know what I'm saying? And we got to make sure that this don't happen again. And if it does happen again, there's repercussions that we can't talk about on this show, that we can't talk about on YouTube. People, see, you think about it, bro. And I lecture about this, and I think you heard me talk about this. Why would our kids want to be Malcolm or Martin or anybody like them, Tupac or Biggie? They dead. And if you and people get mad at me when I say this, if you die, you fail. If you didn't finish, if you did not finish, you failed. So if you and I say we're gonna get together and make a movie company that's gonna change where our kids can be Superman. None of fuck Superman, fuck Wonder Woman, Hey Roo, whoever, Queen or Zinga, whatever it is. And that's our goal, and we feel like that's what God put us on this earth to do. If we don't finish it, we fucking fail, my dude.
Wow.
And so with me, it's our responsibility to make sure that we get around the people who, because I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna say this, man, and my staff always tell me to stop saying this, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Most of the time when I walk through the airport, bro, and it's sad, but I'm gonna give it to you. I think the admiration that people have for me is black folks be looking at me like, them crackers gonna kill that nigga. we applaud what you do, Banner. Cause they give me Hennessy on the plane and everything. They don't even sell Hennessy on the plane. Like, the flight attendants be here, drink, brother, because they gonna get your ass. and it's like we sit back. You know, look at Zimmerman, bro. Look at Look at all of these families, bro. These cops brag about killing innocent kids. Like, we don't, as hard, we'll kill a motherfucker for stepping on our J's, bro. But do nothing about, I tell people this all the time. I know you love David Banner, but you don't love David Banner as much as you love Tupac. You know who killed Tupac. Don't act like that. You love David Banner, but you know who killed Martin and Malcolm. Don't act like that. You know. And all you religious motherfuckers, they killed Jesus. Put him up on the cross in front of your ass. And you did nothing. So why would a child want to engage in something that they know what the end result is? And I'm going to tell you something that most people, I haven't heard anybody else talk about this. And I said it one time, and people froze up and didn't say nothing else about it. People get mad because I don't post about everything. The reason why I don't post about our atrocities, if you're not going to do shit about it, then you're bragging on their fucking victory. You showing what they do to us, and we ain't doing nothing back. That means you're a cheerleader for the fucking other side. Wow. Why would I post about them running our kids' face into the concrete if somebody in our community ain't gonna do nothing about it? That means we're showing that we're fucking weak. I'm not posting that shit until we figure out what the fuck we gonna do about it. And we, white folk, even the good white, so-called good white folks, know that they fucking up. Everybody waiting on us to do something. Whether it's not spend our money, whether it's fighting back, whatever it is. And the crazy shit, whether you Martin or Malcolm, they killed both of them. So what the fuck you gonna do? I was speaking at Notre Dame, and a little black girl came up to me. She was so sweet. I could tell she was like literally had tears in her eyes. Lee, what did she ask me, Lee? You remember? What the little black girl asked me about me living?
Oh, you were afraid it was gonna kill you.
I want y'all to hear it. She said, how does it feel to be the type of, she said, people like you always die. How does that feel, David Banner? And guess what I told to her? I told her this. I said, what was Trayvon Martin doing when he got killed? She said, nothing. I said, what the fuck? When we walk down the street, they pull us over. Whether we steal, whether we fucking on the cell phone, whether we peaceful, they kill Martin and Malcolm. So I would much rather, a lot of women tell me a lot of times, I say, I'd rather my child, even though I don't have a kid, I'd rather my child die young and be a man than fucking live to be 80 and be a fucking coward. Me personally. that's just how my father raised me, man. So like, I always tell people, I don't need, accolades and all of that shit, man. I just want to make sure our people straight. But let me finish with Nipsey really quick. I just wish that people would take Nipsey's life and act like Nipsey. I'm watching people take Nipsey's death in some cases and pitting different black folks against each other. Like, that wasn't what Nipsey was about. Nipsey was about handling business, acquiring a plan, finding ways to execute that plan, and in a lot of cases, execute them silently. Bro, I learned things after his death that he was doing, bro, like with still in these high schools, and he wasn't just trying to do it for LA. He was trying to get technology to all of these children who were in impoverished neighborhoods, dude. Like the stuff that this dude was doing was so amazing. So if Nipsey is who we gonna talk about, then act like him. He was a man of honor. He was a man that had a code. He was a man that uplifted his queen. He was a man that took care of his kids. Like, he was a person that did for his community. So let me see you talking about that. And something I want to say to all these internet motherfuckers. Until you are doing something yourself, I don't want to hear your fucking criticism. If you ain't done, and listen, we're talking about if you want David Banner to give 20% of everything that he does to the hood, cool, that's cool. But you can give 20 cents of your dollar if that's the case. Don't use success as an excuse for you to do what you are supposed to do for your community. If you look at my history, I was the same way when I was in the streets fighting as I was this floating monk that a lot of y'all seem to think that I
am. Everybody, in case you just came in, I'm speaking with the one and only Mr. David Banner. His latest project, the most recent big project he's done is called The God Box, which everybody, if you like what you're hearing, I hope that you will support. His website is davidbanner.com. That's davidbanner.com. And so I hope you will take a visit to the website, buy something, because y'all know y'all done gave white folks probably a couple grand this month. Just throw a little bit toward the black people that you support. You know, make sure that they're free to do the work that you value so much. Also, I saw another brother from New York that I have a lot of respect for. He's right there in the chat, Mr. Andre C. Hatchett, who teaches at the blackrealestateschool.com. Andre and I created an organization for men that want to be men, for black men that want to be men. It's blackmenunited.net. That's blackmenunited.net. We lay out codes for men, guidelines for manhood, guidelines for black male success. And David, in fact, I'd like to ask you, man, if you would consider being an honorary member of Black Men United. I can show you more of the details after we get off the air. I don't know.
Please do. Can I add something? I just want to stick this in, bro, and then I'll step away. I had a debate with someone when I was speaking, and they, I told them, like, yeah, I've been, there's a lot of things that I've done in my career that I am not proud of. I said, but it seems to me that everyone in the world is defining black manhood but a black man. I'm not letting anybody, we may be wrong in everything that we do, but only you and I can define what a man is. Mm-hmm. So we are letting people, everybody on this planet is telling a black man what to be. And the crazy thing about it is the things that people complain about the most as it pertains to us is, like, I will take you telling me what my manhood does to you and how it makes you feel. I get that. I can consider that. But for somebody to tell me, because you don't know what it feels like to be a man. And I give this example. If you notice, I barely ever talk about women's rights or anything about a woman's body. That's like me telling a woman that pregnancy doesn't hurt that bad. Mm. How in the fuck would I know? That's even white people talking about racism, telling me it's that bad or it's that hard. You don't fucking know. Mm. What you should do is ask me how it feels and what you can do to help it make it be better. I don't need your fucking opinion. Mm. So, like, if you look at tribes, and not just African tribes, but it comes from African tribes. If you notice, when they raise a black child, they usually separate the boys and take them into the jungle or the desert or wherever the fuck, and they teach them how to be man, then present them back to the women. But that's something that we have to do alone. I remember going to the Million Man March, and it's like, dude, let us do this alone. Let us go and get this shit together. We don't need no coddling. Just let us do this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. By ourselves so we can come back and be the men that we supposed to be. So, I mean, hopefully, after we talk, I just wanted to add that, man, like let us define what black manhood is supposed to be, because only we have to go through it, man.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it with basic logic, if another man is telling, our men, meaning the white man, no disrespect to anybody, but this is the fact. If the white man is always telling the black man what it means to be a black man, then you're not really a black man. You're not a man at all. You're right, because a big mandate of manhood is defining your own fucking path. You define who the hell you're gonna be. You get advice, you listen up to what people, what people want to throw in as far as input, but you're the king. A king makes the final decision. They have a council, they have advisors, but they don't you can't be a king if you got a king that's kinging over you, right? And so for black men, we've been kept as little boys because we've never believed as a collective that we have the right to be the alpha in terms of our destiny. And that's what Black Men United is designed to do, is to say, let us shape what it means to be a man, not everybody else. So that's what I like about you, man. I respect that.
I told a girl I was dating one time, we got we have a saying in our office, kicking cans, holding hands. And I had a young lady, she that I was dating at the time, who was up. She said, "Why are you always like this?" And I told her, being a protector, I can't cut this shit off in public. Like I was telling her, I'm not holding your hand. It's not that I'm not holding your hand because I don't want to show people that I care about you. I'm not holding your hands because my hands need to be free in case I need to put them on somebody. I can't be, although I love you, I can't be starry-eyed in public because I see stuff that you don't see. I had to even tell her, like, when I tell you to move, move. It's not that I'm trying to run you, but if I see somebody about to hurt us, you need to move without us arguing, and you can cuss me out later. Well, you can, I will tell you. And she started noticing, like, some shit was happening one time we was out, and I was like, yo, go to the car. And then once she was like, damn, I saw that shit. I saw him moving. And so, like, we have to define who has the word, at least in the streets, because I am the one who's going to have to deal with the ramifications of the situation. And I even noticed, like, most people who are protectors are assholes. They have to be, because we deal in absolutes. With my staff, and you know, I just came from the bank. I have to deal on getting the money in. But I have to pay my staff every fucking month, whether we popping or not. Like, I took off last month and I went to Paris for my birthday. It's a little tight this month because I took off. They don't give a fuck about it being tight. I gotta have this motherfucking money in. You feel me? Yep. And I think about death. Like, I think about the safety. All of my friends, even my grown friends, as you come, like when you come visit me, I don't sleep until you get back home to whoever your loved ones are. Like, if you come to Atlanta to see me, you are my responsibility. And we are grown ass men. But that's how I look at it. I can't look your loved ones in the eye knowing that you came to see me, and I can't tell them nothing about what happened to you or where you are. Like, come on, man. Like, that's just what it is. And I don't really give a fuck about people who don't like the way that I act. If I am toxic, it's because the environment in which we were raised in. When I debated against Congress and smashed them motherfuckers, I said, if you want me to rap about roses, come to the hood and fucking plant some. You don't want to do that. You want me to rap about roses, give me more than some fucking hot ass concrete. If you want me to be more loving, like I always say this, think about this, manhood. Even the manhood that we are trying to teach, that shit is off. Because until we go back to Africa, until we go back to somewhere, I said this in an interview this morning. I said most black people want to go forward. I want to go backwards. Because us moving forward and we fucked up, like we taking all this toxicity, and I don't mean the black male toxicity. I just mean all of this stuff that we learned from white folks. They bred niggas. They cut the umbilical cord, what we believed in. Like a lot of my Christian friends say how blessed we are. I say, I don't believe we're blessed. You can't tell me that we're blessed until you knew what we had or what we fucking lost. I believe we're cursed. Not cursed like God cursed us, but we got up under the most evil fucker on this planet. So for me to say that, oh man, I'm blessed. Let's say that you were a millionaire before you met with white folks. And then after white folks, you just happy, oh man, it's blessed that I got $1 today. Fuck no, I was a millionaire before. But if you don't have any knowledge of what you were before, it don't fucking matter.
Right. Well, I love that, man. I think that you're right on point, brother. And I'm gonna say thank you, man, because I know that we talked about 30 minutes for the conversation, and you were gracious enough to David. I just want you all to know that he was gracious enough to give us even more time than that. And everybody who's listening, I want you to give David a digital round of applause. Everybody, just clap, thumbs up. Thank you, brother.
Can I say something to him before we leave?
Go ahead.
This is what I want to say before we leave, man. And bro, I believe that you could testify on this, man. Stop backing up from those that you feel like are your leaders. It's like people say, well, Killer Mike, Boyce, David Banners, all of these different people, they're going to do it for us, or a mayor is going to do it, or whoever. It is all of our responsibility. We are a community. And the one thing that I noticed, man, is that look at most of our leaders, and I ain't gonna call no names, they died alone. Everybody back up. It's like we watching a movie. And we know what's gonna happen to our leaders, and we just step back. Every young innocent black person that's killed in this community, we approach it like it's the first time it happens. Every time it happens, we don't put together that it's a systemic problem that we have to deal with. And the reason why we don't do it is it puts the ownership on the everyday average person. Like, that's one thing I try not to do. I try not to separate myself from the community because I need you all. Like me and B talked about this. I was like, man, the definition of my leadership is how much the everyday ordinary person moves when I ask them to. That's what made Pop so powerful. Is that a lot of these rappers, yeah, you'll go buy their motherfucking CD or you'll go to their show, but it's not too many people who will tell you, hey, meet me at the Capitol. And people will actually show up. It's funny, more people are come and show up to hear me talk than they will for a fucking CD. And sometimes I hurt my feelings, but shit, I'll take it how it comes. But it's like, man, we elect people as these leaders and then we back up and leave them alone. Like, I was so upset when everybody was playing Michael Jackson record after he died. I get upset when everybody want to bump everybody record and talk about how dope they were. Maybe they would be living if you loved them now. If you gave that same support now. Like, maybe they would protect themselves more. Maybe, I don't know, but it just seems like we are in this zombie mode. And everybody wants to tweet about shit, and they think a revolution if they post a picture. Unless you get out on the street and touch something, to me, that shit don't count. And each and every one of you all, man, I just went to Cincinnati, and I was in this restaurant called the Eagle, and it was this black lady who was the head cook. And she came out and she said, I don't know another way to thank you, man, but to give you your meal free. And she said, I want you to know, man, that like I tried to stimulate the minds of the people that work in the kitchen. And she said, a lot of mornings, you give me shit to start them off on. And that matters to me. And like, even if it's just a hug, like I'm one of these people, I like hugs. If you see me, just fucking hug me, male or female. If you male, just don't bump dicks. I don't bump dicks. Like, move your dick to the side when you hug me. But like I man, it's hard, man. And I want to say something, bro. Nipsey's death really bothered me in a way that I don't think I've ever been bothered before, because he was, you see people that die, but they ain't like you. He was like me. He was from the hood. He was knowledgeable. He cared and loved his people. And him dying made it feel so much closer. I've had 2 death threats in my life, bro, but, and the crazy shit, everybody had, and yeah, I want to talk about this. Everybody had to start talking about these fucking theories of how Nipsey died. Man, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, bro, if our homie dead, like, he dead. However, whether it was the government paying or whatever the fuck, he dead, man. Give his family and people an opportunity to fucking breathe, man. When Pimp C died, everybody was asking me, how you think Pimp dead, how he died, man? I heard this, man, I don't give a fuck, my homie dead, bro. Like, and the rest of that shit don't fucking matter. And at the end of the day, even if white folks plotted it, a black man pulled the fucking trigger, dog. We can sit up and talk about all of this theoretical shit, but dumb shit happens all the fucking time, bro. And sometimes it's just dumb shit that we do. Sometimes it ain't deeper. A lot of times it is, but sometimes it isn't, man. And we're going to have to start taking responsibility for our part in white supremacy and the shit that we do in white supremacy. And we're going to have to solve that shit, because ain't nobody else. It says in my office right now, it's my fault, even when it isn't. Because even if white folks admit that they wrong, they ain't going to change shit. We got to change it. If a snake got a frog in his mouth, he ain't gonna let the frog out of the mouth unless the frog bring a bigger frog and give him a bigger frog to put in his mouth, or unless that motherfucker develop antlers and run that shit through the bridge of his mouth. And man, like I'm serious, bro. Like bro, we do shit on the internet and we do shit on TV and forget about the human factor. Forget that people have mothers, man, and grandmothers who are grieving for real in real time, not on no rap shit time. Like, man, I remember, bro, like, I mean, I ain't gonna use your situation, but I'll give like the, you know, when Flip and T.I. were beefing. Like, bro, that shit brought me to my knees because I knew them both. And regardless of who won, I knew both. I knew Tip's children and I knew Flip's mother. So however the shit come out, when it's two black people, we lose.
Mm.
When somebody die, we fucking lose. But because these white people have put money, it's no different than buck breaking. It's no different than how they had the two black folks fighting for their entertainment. Black people's pain is white folks' entertainment.
Mm.
And bro, I'm sick of that shit, homie. Like, I ain't gonna name no names, but if you really got a problem, and I'm gonna say it the way I mean it, if you really got a problem with a nigga, and I'll say the word nigga, I don't say the word nigga as a term of endearment. I mean it the same way white folks mean it. Nigga. You got a problem with a nigga, if we really about this shit we talk about, go see them.
Mm.
I ain't telling none of y'all to do nothing violent so they can use that against me later. But if we really about this shit we talking, because in the hood, if you don't bring a motherfucker his dope back, what's gonna happen? He'll come see you. So if we, all of this shit, because a white person will make a documentary and we'll get all up in arms about shit. If we really about this shit we talking about, hey, that's how I feel about it, man, because I'm tired, bro. Like, one of my homeboys called me and he said, Banner, you can't keep this shit up emotionally.
Mm.
My little homeboy, man, he from the streets, man. He tell me like, dog, bro, you don't have to go to sleep, dog. Like, my staff pushed me to go to the mountains. My staff pushed me to take vacations and break, man, because when shit happen, bro, like, I mean it, dog. I can't sleep at night. If once I engage in something, I'm like a manic, dog. That's all I know. That's all I fucking see. I don't see nothing else, dude.
Mm.
So like when we talking about our community, man, like, that's why when these motherfuckers talk this shit about me, I don't listen to them motherfuckers, dog, because you ain't put nothing in it. I ain't see you I ain't see you out there. I don't see you. We show up, homie. Like, we fucking show up. And that's why, like you say, man, those of us who are doing the work, I don't care. The man trying to stop us, bro. You see how we
yeah, no, the fans always watching, right?
But man, I'm gonna cut it short, man. But like those of us, man, like those of us who are doing it, man, I don't care who do it, man. Sometimes you the leader. Sometimes, you know, Tip the leader. Sometimes Mike the leader. Sometimes, like, we take turns, bro. We don't do this shit, bro. Like, I don't do this shit for credit, man. I don't do this shit for high fives, man. I do it because we're alpha males in our community, and this is what the fuck we supposed to do. I'm gonna say one more thing, and then I gotta go. I saw this study about alpha males and alpha females, and they said America has distorted what it means for you to be an alpha male. People want to be alphas because they get the sex first and the food first. But they said the only reason why you get the sex and the food first is because your responsibility is you're supposed to lead the pack. You're supposed to either be in the front or the back. And the reason why we need you to eat first because we need you to be the strongest because you're the first one that run out there. But the thing is, the alphas now, they're standing behind the pack, using the pack, you know, as a defense shield. You're supposed to be strong and you're supposed to reproduce so we can have more people that stand up in the front for us. You don't just say you a man just so you can't just want the sex and not want to take care of the child. If you gonna shoot up the club, you're gonna have to pay the bill at the end of the month, Jack. I love y'all, man. I'm gone, bro. I'll talk to you soon, homie.
All right, my brother. It was great talking to you, man. I look forward to talking again. And David's going to be on tour with myself and Michi X. It's the Black Agenda Tour. What was it? The blackagendaontour.com. Is that right?
Yeah.
We're going to be in Detroit. I'll be in Detroit with you, brother. And I want to say thank you very much. His website is davidbanner.com. Everybody, please go to davidbanner.com. And if you want to check on out, brother, I know you got a staff meeting. I'll just say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, I got to go, bro, man. We'll talk soon. Just call me.
All right, sure will, brother. Thank you for coming in. All right, peace. Okay, everybody. So the website, please write this. Please write the URL down and support David. It's davidbanner.com. Also, this is a conversation that affects a lot of people, but also we specifically deliberately made an effort as two Black men who are not young Black men. You know, we know we're not old and we're not young. We are, you know, in that, I guess, OG category. And I will just tell you behind the scenes, you know, I talked to David, Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, and a few other people, and some scholars and hip hop artists and activists, and Andre Hatch and people like that. And one of the things that I love about these guys is they understand the code. They're strong enough individuals that they understand codes of conduct, codes of mutual support. And they're not the only ones. There's about probably 20 or 30 people that I talk to on a regular basis that I communicate with on some level. And the point is, the thing that we understand and we agree on completely is that there has to be some type of unity at the end of the day. You know, it doesn't mean you can't have divisions or disagreements, but you got to have some sort of unity to move forward. You need soldiers, you need an army, you need a process, and you need a code of conduct. So, and you know, Dr. Claude Anderson, you guys see him on here. You also see Kenny Gamble, you've seen him. Those are the older guys that we talked to, Louis Farrakhan. These are all individuals that I think play an important part in us reclaiming Black manhood, reclaiming the Black family, reclaiming the Black community. And so I'm gonna bring David back in again, you know, at his convenience. And I hope you guys will go to his website, davidbanner.com, and show support. Also, if you are a Black man and you want to be a part of our organization for Black men, you can go to blackmenunited.net. That's blackmenunited.net. So if you got a brother, uncle, a husband, a cousin, or whomever that you think can benefit from being in a space where Black men are encouraged to be men, encouraged to take care of our families, encouraged to go build wealth, encouraged to pursue knowledge, encouraged to unify, encouraged to work together to defend and support the community, go to blackmenunited.net. And everything's in there. Lots of free information. Don't cost you a thing. And I think you guys are going to love it. Last but not least, let me also say thank you to the moderators. I see Dual Victories in here. Michelle Queelan is in here. So I'm going to make you a mod, Michelle. Everybody who wants to look into getting books for your family or anything for your children in terms of flashcards or workbooks for the summer, you can go to blackfinancialintelligence.com. That's blackfinancialintelligence.com. There's plenty of stuff there that you can pick up, tools and resources available for those who want to learn. Last but not least, if you believe in intelligent Black media, Killer Mike agreed to come in. I'm gonna bring him in at some point, but these guys, you know, they have such busy schedules, so I don't push them too hard. And I'm not really a journalist. I'm a scholar and a Black man who just talks shit on the internet for the most part. But every now and then I open my platform up, and I told Mike that he can come in when he's ready. And but anyway, if you want to support the development of intelligent Black media, then I hope that you'll consider becoming a patron, becoming a supporter of the platform. It's not a donation, it's not charity. We're not begging you for anything. It's actually a trade. So if you want to go and support in exchange for the free things we'll give you back, you can go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. So I'm out of here, guys. You guys have a good day, and thank you guys for hanging out with us. It was real, it was fun, and I hope you gained something from the conversation. So I'll see you guys soon. Take care, have a good day. Be good. Peace.